Good afternoon. My name is Bryonika Goodman. Today I'm going to tell you about my 7 different books, like my lines and stuff. This first one is books that represent line. The Truth is written by Evan Shekard and illustrated by Bryonika Goodman. The book used different lines to show that the little girl is holding, so the lines are whole. The faces are drawn downwards, but it will illustrator used the lines for creating the tall building blocks. The skyline also representation of space, making the building look like they are farther away. This girl, Melissa and home. This one's Melissa, and this is her mother. Their hairlines are represented implied lines to show their texture. See, the lines of their hair shows the texture of the lines. The books that are represented in color. Carlos Grant Sandwich, written by Debbie Brune. The Evers and the Shoe Monster, written by Brennan's Jim Martins, illustrated by Jim Lawrence. The book starts right out by using the color to represent texture on the face. Different blood, the different, like their cheeks, the different build, like has black and white. Colors represent the cheeks. The white and the gray working against each other of their hair. The shadow colors made this item on the walls appear to be farther away. The color is repeated kindness of the shoemaster. The books that are represented volume. When a Dragon Moves In, written by Judy Moore, illustrated by Howard Newyears. The illustrator uses color to show the shadows that they are outside. Since the settings making in the clear that was sunny day by using the shadows. Like here's one shadow, like here's the shadow of that, the shadow of the dinosaur. They are also used volume to represent the mood of the dragon by when the dragon shooting the fire against fire that dogs, but he was red and yellow to represent the hot. You can kind of tell that he's a little yellow and red, a little bit. Emery Pie, ready by Corentin Manha, written by Drake Madison, illustrated by Tara Colin King. This book is the illustrator used the value of the colors red. The red is darker, so like the cherries, dark red. To the resident, the evil tablecloth, even using for the pie, by the pie. So they also use the colors to president outside more claiming colors with different tints of the color to represent the shadow of the bunch. The volume is this book helps represent the settings along with the mood of the story. The books that represent shape. Somebody Loves You, Mr. Hatch, written by Elliot Spinley, illustrated by Paul Yarzine. And then in this book, the main moon is represented by all large pink hearts in the box. Like here's the heart pink. It was the pink heart with all the stuff in the box. They use the shapes of the heart to represent love with throughout. They also use different shapes of the mouth to show that the characters is feeling such a cycle. Sad represents sad, and on oval represent happy. So the circles mean they're sad, and the ovals mean that they're happy. Hey, That's My Monster, written by Amanda Knoll, illustrated by Howard McWilliam. This book they use shapes to help explain the mood on the monsters. They use round eagle shapes to make the monsters not to appear so scary. When they grab his shapes, they are more pointed to make him appear more dangerous in the story. So like his shapes are like the shapes are the triangle shapes are means they're like ouch scary. His shapes, his eyes, his horns make him scary. When his sister comes out, she was pointing shapes for the teeth. Fingernails that make her just as scary. Books that represent from. A Bad Case of Strips, written by and illustrated by Dylan Sherman. David used several different things to represent from the different dark lines. Insert color to make her look three-dimensional, like she's in the wall. Using the volumes, the shadow, the show, she was laying down on her bed. He also used volume to represent a 3D picture to her eyes when they were responded by the picture on the wall. He used the frame to help make the settings and also identify that character. So here's the 3D picture, and here she is laying on her ball like she's in the wall with it. As fast as words could fly. As fast as words can fly. Written by Pamela Tuck, illustrated by Eric Vegeley. This book used color to a lot of represent from using the contrast between lines and dark colors. It also was shadowing to help bring out the form of the books, making everything feel real. Help with the characters, such as seeing the defined lines of the mouth. To represent activity, black people, lips. The illustrators also uses color to help set the settings, but within the colors, using the value to help it create the form, such as using blue and green for green for outside and blue for inside. For outside and brown to represent the inside of the school bus. The brown is for the inside of the school bus, and green shows it's the outside of the bus, so outside of the windows. Books that are represent texture. Liberty Line, written by Mitchell Kindson, illustrated by Kevin Hinks. Looks like this book shows texture clearly when describing the line. They are using the lines along the color and the shading to make the four of the lines have depth of his softness. So his lines show how soft his bay is around his head. So this part around his head is called the bay. The darkness is the soft of his, showing the softness. So that would be his texture. The softness of the lines here makes the line appear to be more friendly than most lines would be. This one is Brian Ready Read. Written and illustrated by William Stein. The setting of the books was very clear that it was a cold and snowy day. They used the white, I don't know if you can really see it or not, the white to show that it's snowing outside and how cold it is by the wind and stuff. The illustrator uses different colors, the white, different locations on the page to make it look like the real snow was falling. Like I said, the snow again is falling. He also used different shapes with different colors on the beautiful ground to represent texture on the mattress. This book they use texture to help show the settings and to give details over the dress. Books that are represent shape. The house that Jan built. The house that Jan built. Written by Tanya Lee Stone, illustrated by Catherine Brown. This book represents shapes in several different ways. There are pages that Jamie is represented smaller than the poor people. This is Jamie and this is the poor people. Meaning they are more important, so the poor people are bigger because they're more important in the story than Jamie is. So she made them bigger than herself. More important than she is. The illustrators used the size of the indentration to represent who is being talked about on the page, making the adults larger on the page to comparing to the children. The illustrator uses the space to help represent setting and characters. Then my last one is about Snoopy the alligator. Did not ask to begin this book. Written by Julie Falterkey, illustrated by Tim Miller. This illustration was bold lines to represent shapes that show items up close to or far away. This helps describe the setting. He also uses movement on the page, such as all of the people looking directly at the dinosaur. Like all these people over here are looking right at the crocodile in the straw. Then on the page that the crocodile is having a party, the illustrator used the size and placement of everyone dancing around the response of the shape. Thank you for watching my video, and this is again Bryonika Goodman.